Hello everyone, my name is Josh, also known as 2BeTheMan, and 2 years ago I was a competitive Pokemon player for 4th generation. When 5th gen Black and White came out, I lost my passion. I was extremely passionate about playing this game and becoming the best. Unfortunately, I didn't enjoy the new game, but when Pokemon X and Y came out, I saw it as an opportunity to rekindle an old fire. Basically, long story short, I'm here because I miss this game, and more importantly, I miss YouTube. I miss being able to try to entertain people, and maybe try to teach people a couple things. So, I'm going to give it another go. And I promise to anyone who is still out there from the past that I will be committed. On to the battle. This is my first competitive OU X and Y single battle on Wi-Fi. Leads with the Genesect, and I'm going to go with Rotom. I'm not terrified of this thing yet, because I know I can deal with it with Rotom. So he's going to go for a U-turn as I expected him to be Scarfed, and I'm just going to go for Will-O-Wisp, knowing that nothing on his team will like that Will-O-Wisp. The best thing to take it would be this Rotom, but because he has a Tyranitar and the burn damage, the Rotom's going to take a lot of residual damage every turn, and that's really not very good for him. I'm going to go for a Volt Switch. It does quite a chunk of damage, more than I expected, so I realize he's probably physically defensive, and I'm going to go into Bliss Heat to either take the Volt Switch or the Will-O-Wisp. He's going to go Tyranitar, which is going to set up Sand, and from what I've seen battling online and on simulators, most of these are defensive based sets. So I'm assuming he's going to set up Stealth Rocks here. I take the risk of him going for Superpower, and he's going to set up the rocks, and I'm going to get Mamoswine out to set up my own rocks. He's going to go into his Rotom as I get up my rocks. Now here I make an extremely risky, almost stupid play, if you will. I'm thinking he's going to overpredict and go for a Volt Switch. So I want to go into my Garchomp to not lock him in, but to keep him in so I can go for an Outrage. Now, he does go for the Will-O-Wisp, which was a large risk, and he does miss, which does matter to a point, but this would have killed anyway. So I'm not burned because he does miss, and Garchomp is pretty much full health. But he's going to send out Aegislash, and I'm locked into Outrage. So I'm going to go for the Outrage as he goes for, I believe, a Swords Dance. And it does a good chunk, which is more than I expected it to do. But I do get the second Confusion. Now, I only have one thing that can take a Shadow Sneak, I believe, on this team. Maybe Rotom could take one. But I need this Garchomp to die. I need to fodder it, basically. So, he's going to go for Sacred Sword, which is going to take me out. I went for the Fire Fang there, trying to take it out, but I got confused. So that kind of evens up the hacks a little bit. Mamoswine's going to come back out because I know it can take the Shadow Sneak, and I know it's faster, and I know nothing on his team wants to take an Earthquake at this point. He has things like Mega Lucario and Tyranitar. None of them want to take that. Rotom's dead, so he has no Levitator. He's going to go back into his attack form, and he's going to go for a Shadow Sneak. I live it with a lot less than I thought I would. I'm going to go for an Earthquake, and that's going to take out the Aegislash. He's going to go back into Genesect. And I know he's going to go for the U-turn, or like a fire move, possibly. And I just want to get the extra residual damage on him from Rocks and Ice Shard, just to chunk him down a little bit more before I go down. And he's going to go for the U-turn, which is probably the best move he could have done for me, because it ends up giving me Switch advantage, which is very important. He's going to go back into Tyranitar. And I know at this point I can go into Lucario, and I can basically just start close combating things. Nothing he has wants to take a close combat. The only thing he has to take out this Lucario is a Flamethrower from Genesect. I'm going to go for a Mega and close combat the Tyranitar. It's going to go down, and he is going to bring in his Genesect. Now here I'm fearing the Flamethrower, so I'm forced to switch out knowing he might have it. But he actually is going to go for the T-Bolt as I go into my Blissey. Now, if he went for the U-turn, it wasn't that big of a deal at this point. I don't really need Blissey. I kind of have him walled off or beat with Lucario already. So he's going to go for a Thunderbolt. It does quite a good amount of damage, so now I know, well, confirms it. I thought he was Special Scarfed with U-turn. He's going to withdraw and go into his own Lucario. I predict a switch, not into Garchomp. And I figured it was more important to get the Lucario Thunder Wave than it would be to get the Garchomp Ice Beam, because this is the one threat he has to my team. So I'm going to get that, and he's going to go for his Mega Evolve, and he's actually a special Nasty Plot Luke, which I was actually kind of shocked about. And I'm going to get a Free Seismic Toss Off, and it's going to do a good amount of damage. He's going to go for a Nasty Plot, which kind of scares me, but I know I have a Mega Gengar, so I know I can always kill him, because he doesn't have the priority Vacuum Wave on me. I'm going to go for a second Seismic Toss, knowing that he can't hit me to death. I don't think he can kill me with the Vacuum Wave. So he's going to go for the Aura Sphere. It's going to take out Blissey, but basically I just need the Blissey to fodder to get a safe switch into Gengar. So I'm just going to go with the straight Shadow Ball, knowing it'll take it out as he has nothing to hit me with. And I know Gengar can pretty much do some serious work to his team. He has no super effective moves to hit me with on Genesect, if I recall correctly, so I'm not really worried about it, plus he gets the attack raise. So he's going to go for a Thunderbolt. It doesn't really do that much damage, and it doesn't kill me, and I'm going to be able to take this thing out with a Shadow Ball. So right there, that's the last threat I saw in his team. He's going to go into Garchomp, and I'm assuming he's just going to go for an Outrage, so I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball. It's going to do over half. He's going to go for a Fire Fang. Now, I was assuming this was going to be Scarfed, which was the one fear I had. But I knew if he locked himself in Outrage, Lucario could take an Outrage. So, going to go into Lucario, and I'm just going to finish off with the Bullet Punch for the victory. So, I'll see you in the next battle, guys. Have a nice day. Peace.